What's up everyone, Strawgator here. Today we're going to go over the power of a mix and listen to exactly what a mix does to a song. We're going to listen through a song exactly how it sounded coming from the studio and then isolate each instrument to hear how mixing changes and enhances the sound. And then we'll build back each layer to hear how they complement each other and the song. And then at the end we'll compare the final mix versus the master. You're going to hear the entire progression of a song from what was captured at the studio to the final mastered version. So let's dive into the mix. So you can actually see here that I have all the plugins bypassed, basically putting us back to the original sounds except for these guitars because I recorded them directly, so it wouldn't make sense to bypass those. And then on the master, I have one compressor still on, except I've muted everything else. Basically, this one compressor is going to keep us from going way too loud or way too quiet because the instruments aren't all perfectly the exact same level. But let's just jump right in and hear how it sounded coming straight from the studio. Now let's actually solo the drums and hear how those sound by themselves. Now I'll start introducing some of the plugins slowly. It's actually going to get a little loud, so I'll bring it down. Now I actually have a parallel compressor right here, and let's listen to how that changes when I put it in and out. Now, let's go and check out the bass on its own and see how that's sounding straight from the studio. Now let's introduce the plugins. It's louder, making it sound better, but let's make sure we're actually liking how those plugins are working by bringing up the original one as well. Now let's actually reintroduce the drums. Now let's check out the guitars. We have two versions of the guitars. We have some spacey ambient ones and some pretty heavy ones. So let's start with the spacey. Not bad on their own, but let's actually introduce the plugins and see what that's doing. Pretty cool sounding. So now what about the distorted guitars? Big difference. They're going from a beefy, muddy sound to more of a carved and really bright sound. So let's listen to how those sound in the full mix with everything else so far. We can really hear how the whole mix is starting to fill out and where each instrument is starting to take its own place. The last thing we gotta check out is the vocals. I'm actually gonna bring these straight into the mix and then reintroduce the plugins as we go, hearing how I mixed it to fit the song. From your high, enforced to see a different side, like city cage, slow days continue to pass, and I've seen the end 1,000 times. I force myself to stay. The last one's actually pretty important to fit in the mix, so let's listen to that one more time. Continue to pass, and I've seen the end 1,000 times. I force myself to stay. The last thing we gotta check out is the master bus, basically where all the instruments are going and feeding into one channel. Basically, anything I do here is gonna change the entire song. The scent of fear, oh, the sense of belonging I feel. Is it me, too close to be? The sense of belonging I feel. Oh, the sense of belonging I feel. Is it me, too close to be? The sense of belonging I feel. It's me, the sense of belonging I need. It's me, the sense of belonging. It really lets the song take shape and get rid of some of those muddy frequency buildups that was happening in there. But now let's check out the final mix versus the master. This pain is real, this scent of fear, oh, this sense of belonging I feel. Is it me, too close to me? This sense of belonging I feel. It's me, this sense of belonging. As hope starts to fade, I watch it slip away.